Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again. Today, rather than giving you a message, I'd like to ask a question, because I am questioned. And that is, did Donald Trump originally plan to overthrow the American government? Did he really plan to overthrow the American government? And is that still his plan? You watch his actions and they become quite disturbing. Here you have a man that was put before you that was called evil, and by some the most evil possible presidential candidate, the most evil possible president. And yet, somehow, he was put into office. He filled himself around with military people, people that he said he was smarter than. And perhaps he is smarter than. As we find out who they are and what they've done and what they are doing, he perhaps is smarter than they are. But why would he want to have all these military people around him? Would it make it easier for him to be able to control and get access to the military to do some despicable things? I'm not saying this is his intent. I'm just saying this is a question that's on my mind. But the questions don't stop there. Here's a gentleman who says that there are leaks being made, illegal leaks, and an investigation will be made. And if they find anybody who's guilty of these, I'm sure, according to the way he acts, he wants to punish them. And then I ask you, what's on the American people's mind to have somebody who's supposed to represent them as a national nation, sovereign nation, who gets on TV and says to the world that our intelligence agencies are no darn good? They might not be any good, but who tells the world? Didn't that kind of put the world in a position to maybe disregard a lot of things that they've heard? And to say that the media is propping it up in such a way that it has the effect on him, and yet he has told you long ago that as a businessman, there was it was brought out in the campaign, Miss Clinton brought it out, that there were certain taxes and things and that he went around, and he would say stuff like, when I say around, I mean didn't have to pay. He said that made him smart. Smart, a man who wants to be a spokesman for the American people, a man who wants to legitimize all we say that America is, and yet he's bragging that he was smart. He might have been smart on the legal front, but he was most ignorant and guilty of moral violation. Yet he's there in the White House. And what else has he done? He's chosen very, very wealthy people, millionaires, to fill certain positions around him. And we all know, if you don't know, millionaires are crooks. They might be done illegally, but they are moral crooks. And then to get on the top of that, and this man won't even give you his taxes. That tells you that this guy has a dictator attitude. The association with Russia tells you that he has a dictator compass. And the thing that gets me is, going back to what I stated earlier, he wants to criminalize people who are whistleblowers within the government. And yet in one room he can tell you one thing, go to another room and disavow ever saying that. And when you put a replay or maybe a video of him saying it, he will say the media created it. And then the American people let him get away with it. Most people tell a lie on the job. Look at Flynn. Look at Flynn. Flynn, my friends, listen to this. They caught him in a lie. They caught him in a lie and they said, we can't trust him. Get out of here. Donald Trump lies to you in your face. All you got is thousands of lies that he's told. He still walks around in the White House like he runs it. He walks around in the White House like he runs the nation. So I'm thinking, what is America about? Is America in cahoots with what Donald Trump is reflecting through his activities? I don't know the answer to these questions, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not as smart as you are. But I throw the questions out there so you can use your intellect, use your wisdom, and you make a decision. What do you think? Thank you very much.